Hey gang, it's me again, and time to check in again on my career in the Air Force. Well, I finally made it. I'm a combat mission-ready wingman in the world's greatest Air Force. Yep, that's me, Eagle Driver Extraordinaire. And I got a new call sign too. My friends call me JoJo. Today I'm going to tell you the story about my first large force exercise, or LFE. It was crazy. Talk about a helmet fire. Well, let's recap. How did I end up in my Eagle in the middle of an LFE? Well, a couple of years ago, the air staff at the Pentagon realized we weren't making enough pilots. So they said, "We need more pilots! Make more pilots!" So Big Blue went out and found a bunch of non-athletic normies like me who would have normally had no shot at being a pilot, and they created special pathways for us to get our wings. And we said, all right! From everything I read on Wikipedia, it was going to be a long road, but at the end, I was going to have my very own pilot wings, and that's pretty awesome. I'd start in pilot training and go into IFF before go into a fighter, which of course is what everyone wants. Now gang, there are lots of cool airplanes to fly in the Air Force, but I knew I wanted to fly a fighter, so I had to study really hard. When I got to pilot training, they gave us some sweet VR goggles, which is awesome, because I'm a pretty big gamer. They also gave us other stuff, like a stick and a throttle. I didn't know what these were for, but soon I realized this is how you fly the plane. We were supposed to use all this stuff for chair flying at home, but every weekend I'd get on my VR goggles and man, I would have epic dogfights. The Air Force has missions all over the world, supporting our nation and defending our allies. And there's lots of tracks for all the different types of planes too. Honestly, I didn't do that well, and so I didn't think I'd be able to go fly in the fighter bomber track, but hey, it's a new day. When I walked into my T-38 flight room, I was pretty intimidated. I'd never been around fighter pilots before. I asked my instructors what fighters they flew. And they said, "Oh no man, we fly C-17s. Then I saw another dude my age and I said, "Hey, are you in my class?" He said, "No, I'm a FAPE. You wanna go fly?" Man, my FAPE friend was super helpful in T-38s. See, old JoJo struggled in contact, in formation, and in four-ship formation, and in acro, and in instruments. I did kind of drive my instructors crazy because every time we took off I'd say, "I'm unstoppable!" In the T-38, they want us to be ready on time to check in on the radios. Talk about a helmet fire. But eventually I learned, thanks to the 3 pillars of Air Force instruction. Every single instructor said your boy Joey was bad at situational awareness, decision making, and basic airmanship. They said I should never fly single seat. In the Air Force, you don't graduate pilot training, your grade book does. Well, that was too bad because my grade book was horrible, and I should have never gotten a fighter. But hey, look at me now. On drop night, I went home and crushed a couple of cold dudes and threw on my VR goggles and pretended to shoot down MiGs left and right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go fly the Eagle. When I got to the FTU, I was kind of surprised that none of the technology I had in pilot training had made its way up to the pipeline yet. But it's alright. I had a sweet poster and plunger and I would practice my surface-to-air threat reactions every night. And then we had these old guys that would hang around. We called them sim instructors. They'd ramble on and on and on about how great the AIM-7 was. They're okay, I guess. Thankfully, in the Eagle FTU, all you have to learn is air-to-air. So finally, I made my way out to the CAF to the 42nd Fighter Squadron. My first day in the squadron, I got to meet the rest of the LPA. Well, they're okay. Then one day, they said, "JoJo, the bros think you're kind of fat for being an Eagle driver. Maybe you should go on a diet." And so I did, because I'm a real fighter pilot now. Soon it was time for my first TDY. I was stoked. We were going to go fly an exercise red flag. It's one of the most prestigious air exercises in all the world, but all I could hear was, "Vegas, baby, Vegas." In red flag, airplanes from all over the Air Force fight together. All my instructors say that it's the closest thing we have to combat, especially in the Eagle. My flight lead that day was all about me, as in, all about him. His call sign was Fuzz. The mission commander was pretty impressive too. She had been an Olympic athlete, distinguished graduate at the Air Force Academy, and a Rhodes Scholar. Now she was flying the F-35. I guess she was pretty good, but the brief wasn't that great. It was pretty much a time hack followed by a bunch of platitudes. Well, I knew my flight lead would tell me everything I needed to know for my first red flag sortie. And Fuzz did not disappoint. He briefed right through step time. Man, Fuzz loves to hear himself talk. And I know that when he goes to weapons school later this year, the instructors are going to love to hear him talk too. Fuzz is so great. I'll be honest, gang, it didn't start that well. We were in the cap and I couldn't see Fuzz. So I did what I was supposed to do and called blind. I was on the wrong frequency, so he didn't hear me, and I didn't hear the weasels call that the SA-2 in the middle of the airspace was active and starting to target everyone. I finally saw Fuzz and I said, 1 from 2, I see you. But I was still on the wrong frequency, so Fuzz didn't hear me. Plus, he was busy threat reacting. Talk about a helmet fire! But then I thought back to my training and said, Jojo, you can kill MiGs. I practiced the positive self-talk I had been taught, and I said, Jojo, you've got this. The problem is I didn't see Red Air rolling in behind us. Well, we didn't win, and so in the debrief I was ready for some constructive criticism. Fuzz had a lot of good stuff to say. I had all these horrible feelings of self-doubt and wondering if I could really do this. Could I really be a wingman? What would happen to me? And then I remembered, we're still thousands of pilots short. What are they gonna do? Don't worry about your boy Jojo, I'm gonna be okay.